Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen the highlights, you've heard the rumors, but now it's time to get the real scoop. We pull back the curtain on the world of sports entertainment and give you the unfiltered truth. From the biggest pay-per-views to the latest shocking headlines, you're locked in for the ultimate wrestling discussion. This is Between the Ropes, only on the Empty the Bench Network. Now, here's your host, Kristie Wilson.
New episode of Between the Ropes. I am your very patriotic host. My name is Kristie Wilson. I am wearing red, white, and blue. Yes, it's all Cody. I get that. But I hope everyone is having an absolutely wonderful 4th of July, wonderful Independence Day. I hope everyone is celebrating the 250th birthday of this amazing country. You know, just so you know, I'm wishing the entire wrestling community a fantastic and safe holiday. Enjoy the day off. Appreciate the fireworks. Get ready for the next big card. Also, please be careful with fireworks. I don't need to say why, but just hope everyone has a absolutely awesome 4th of July. So let me get down to the business at hand here. The ticker. You can follow the show, follow this network. You can follow me on social media, all that good stuff, in addition to enjoying your 4th of July and being super careful with fireworks, of course. Of course, you can follow the show on social media at BTRETB. And, of course, the next big one is, of course, youtube.com/ETB network. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. And we continue to push towards 3,000 watch hours and then continue the push towards 4,000. So just check out everything from Empty the Pitch, World Cup's getting good. And I know Callum McClurg and Trevor Williams are going to have a lot to say about that, in addition to other shows like Press Row, Fight IQ, Callan's Cranium, you name it. We got it. So check it out. Check out the network, youtube.com/ETB network. So we're going to get into the big thing. Since I am wearing red, white, and blue, and it is Independence Day, we're going to start off with something majorly big. As the first 3 topics deal with 3 very big things here. So let me find the appropriate sound effect for this. Here you go. Of course, let's start with the big one. Of course, this is the beginning of 3 pay-per-views I am reviewing. I'm going to start with, of course, because I'm wearing red, white, and blue, is Independence Day, 4th of July, 250th birthday of this country. I'm going to review the NXT Great American Bash, of course, last week on the CW. I think it went exactly how I think it was supposed to. I know I admit I was wrong on some picks, but we have, of course, Tony D'Angelo retaining the NXT title against Naroku. I don't think that feud is over. If you watch NXT this Tuesday on the CW, it looks like Tony D'Angelo is going to have another bandage on the other eye because Naroku spit some disgusting crap in his face. Did I think D'Angelo was going to come out looking like what I thought he was going to look like, which is Two-Face from Batman? Nah, I don't think he even took the bandage off. But he was able to defeat him, and clearly that's not over yet. That feud ain't over yet, not by a long shot. Zarya retained against Tatum Paxley, and then Tatum ends up in another feud. I don't think she's going to the main roster, despite the rumors that I heard that she probably will go to the main roster. Rumors of a call-up. Not yet. looks like she's got one more feud left to go, and then maybe that chatter can pick up. Excuse me. Ooh, the chatter can pick up on that one. There's North American title. Miles Bourne retained. Ren Sinclair retained the Speed title. I remember if you had to force me to pick, I did pick Ariana Grace, but I kind of in the back of my mind kind of felt like Ren was doing good with the title, making it relevant. So she retained. And good for Ren for knocking out Charlie Dempsey. He got what he deserved anyway. And of course, the women's NXT Championship. Of course, I said Lola Vice. Kendal Grey is your new NXT Women's Champion. What happens to Lola? Well, right now she's still one half of the AAA Mixed Tag Team Champions with Mr. Iguana. So we'll see what happens with her on that front, amongst other things. Overall, not a bad. It wasn't bad. It could have been a little bit more exciting. Like maybe could have done it in a special location. Like maybe they could have taken this show on the road. Like, I mean, I'm sure Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. would have been more than happy to accommodate NXT Great American Bash. I mean, why the heck not? But neither here nor there. So we'll see how everything goes going forward. Another one, TNA Slammiversary, also Sunday. Did start a little earlier than the big one that I'm going to review directly after this. TNA Slammiversary. Yeah, Nick Nemeth is your TNA World Champion. I think this does spell the end for Mike Santana and TNA. He is most likely going to go to WWE. I would like to see him in NXT because I think there are definitely some good matches, some really good opponents he can go up against. There, I mentioned him in the previous topic, Tony D'Angelo, Miles Bourne. I got some more coming. You got Naroku, Mason Rook, Shiloh Hill, Hank and Tank. I mean, I think Mike Santana can really do good things in NXT. So start him there before you put him on the main roster, because I'm sure he'd like to kind of get a taste of what WWE is like down there before you put him on the main roster against the big name stars like Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, you name it. So Cedric Alexander, still your X Division champion. We did get a new TNA Knockouts champion in Xia Brookside. Long overdue for a title for her. Like I said, I've been a fan of her since her NXT UK days. She finally got it, and looks like there's going to be a rematch between her and Li Yin Lee in a no DQ match. We did get new Knockout Tag Team champion, Heather by Elegance, and M by Elegance got beaten by Demon Bunny, aka Rosemary and Allie. Like I said last week, you didn't bring these two back together unless you intended to put gold around their waists. Remember, Rosemary and Allie are both former Knockouts champions. It's best they ended up winning this together because they just have that camaraderie together. They just have that camaraderie that I think people like and appreciate. Another big one, of course, looks like Ricky Sosa's a wanted man. In terms of all the wrestlers want to kick his ass. And he did beat Eric Young. Another big one, of course, the ladder match. Won by the Hardys. They are TNA Tag Team Champions. Another thing did get introduced into this, and I'm going to bring this topic up, which is pretty interesting because this was announced during Slammiversary. That's right. TNA has a brand new championship. The Knockouts TV Championship was announced by TNA Hall of Famer Tracy Brooks, and they had a tournament for it, and already they've got it going. I did have an issue with the bracket when it came out because I mentioned we had new TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champions in Rosemary and Allie. Well, both of them got put in this tournament, and if you watch this past Thursday's episode of TNA Impact on AMC, Allie is out of the tournament, beaten by Heather by Elegance. Despite the fact Rosemary did try to help, even the odds by keeping M by Elegance, who's her opponent in the tournament on the one side of the bracket. That wasn't enough. Heather by Elegance got the win over Allie. And then, of course, Mara Charday defeated former Knockouts champion Tasha Steele in the tournament. We got more matches coming up. Like, I did see one for Indy Hartwell versus Vicky Venuto. Harley Hudson versus Thea Hale. We have an NXT person there. Understandable with Thea. There's nothing for her to do in NXT right now at the moment, so why don't I put her in this situation? And then, of course, you have a former Evolve Women's Champion Wendy Chu in the tournament as well. That was the only issue with me with the bracket, and I had this gripe about the Queen of the Ring tournament when Liv Morgan and Sol Ruca were announced to be taking part in that one, was the fact they were holding championships. Now, right now, Allie and Rosemary have the knockout tag team titles. Of course, like I mentioned, Rosemary has a match against Am by Elegance. So we'll see how that goes. But the tournament's going to keep going. The big thing with this one, this title is not going to be defended on any TNA pay-per-view, not even Bound for Glory, which is coming soon. It is going to be defended on AMC on television. TNA isn't playing around with this, and I like it. It does give the ladies, another thing they can go for, another goal they can try and achieve. Because I think that's a really good thing. And the belt, by the way, it looks stunning. Looks really cool. And I'm a big fan of purple. So I like the fact that it had purple in there. So that was really something, which I enjoyed very much. Enough of that. We're going to go to the big pay-per-view that I really think blew it completely out of the water on Sunday. AEW Forbidden Door, taking place in San Jose, California at the SAP Center. So many different matches. I'm telling you, this was an absolute banger. I'm going to get to one of the big matches was what they called the Death's Door match, which is kind of like Anarchy in the Arena. The Conglomeration, along with Konosuke Takeshita and Darby Allin, beat Team MJF and the Don Callis douchebags. So they beat that one in what's called a Death's Door match because the steel cage used for it was a circular one, which I think is pretty cool. Definitely better than the standard, normal, boring rectangular cage that they use all the time for these sort of things. No, KB. By the way, hi, happy 4th of July. No, I am not changing my name to Kristie by Elegance. I don't think so. Nah. No. Not a chance. Back to Forbidden Door. Definitely gonna get to the Owen Hart Cup final matches. Mercedes Moné versus Maya Wardlow on the women's side, and the main event was Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay on the guys' side. All the other matches all taken care of. Adam Copeland and Christian Cage retained their tag team titles against David Finlay and Clark Connors, aka the Dogs. Big surprise, we had a full-on reunion of the Bang Bang Gang and the return of the Switchblade. Jay White knocked out David Finlay. Serves David Finlay right. They booted Jay White out of the Bullet Club. Jay White had been out for a little over a year due to rehabbing an injury and everything. It was good to see the Switchblade back. Now, do I expect the Dogs versus the Bang Bang Gang? Yeah, probably. And the biggest issue, I think the Dogs have a bit more of an advantage because Gabe Kidd is also super friendly, is buddy with the Death Riders. So Mox and his crew might factor in here or not. I have no idea. Speaking of Mox, did beat Bandito, the Continental title match, amongst other things. Tekla beat the Starlight Kid in the women's match and then took Starlight Kid's mask pitch and scared the hell out of Tana Okada, president of Stardom. Tekla's out of control. Tekla's out of control, and she is continuing to develop that insane arrogance that is we see with her fellow Austrian, Gunther. She is getting to that point, and it is getting nauseating. But I think the other things here, Young Bucks won their match. Whoop-de-doo. I don't care about the Bucks. Hell with the Bucks. They're going to be in the Roast of Wrestler segment soon. They're going to be there soon. But the big matches, I think, completely took this pay-per-view over the top. A pay-per-view that I don't think a lot of people were excited about. Like I said last week, I've talked with some folks, and some of them have said, maybe it's best to do away with the pay-per-view forever because all it is just Tony Khan it's just TK having an excuse to scout potential new talent from New Japan, from Stardom. But, you know, if these talents from these two companies show up, show out, show how good they are, excuse me, then they deserve to go to AEW. That's where they want to go. Oh, you're calling it out, Jay White. Ooh, KB. I know you're saying sometime in 2027. I actually like that. The Switchblade versus the Aerial Assassin. That would be something that I'm going to get to, Mr. Ospreay, in another topic, in the next topic after this. But I'm going to get to the Owen Hart Cup tournament finals matches. Mercedes Moné versus Maya World. Maya World, the sentimental favorite. People are falling in love with her. She's proven herself to be an absolute total badass rock star in this tournament. I mean, you're talking about someone who goes from taking over for Sari, who was not medically cleared by doctors here in America, stepping in for her, beating Sky Blue, a favorite in that match, then going up against Athena, another favorite in the match, beating her, going up against Mercedes Moné. Yeah, was the luck going to run out? Unfortunately, yes, it did, because Mercedes is the first ever two-time Owen Hart Cup tournament winner on the women's side. So Mercedes is going to go to All In London August 30th. Will she be facing Tekla? Well, we got one more pay-per-view to go before All In, and that is AEW Redemption, coming up towards the end of July. And I will talk about Redemption a little later in the show. But we're going to get to the men's match. This was if you thought Mercedes versus Maya was good, holy shit. Swerve versus Ospreay. Freaking amazing. And by the way, yes, I actually have their action figures both on my desk. Whose house? Bruv. Ooh, I'm going to tell you this. These two didn't hold back, and I'm sure that was something that was discussed. I'm sure they said, well, we're not going to give an inch to the other, and they just went at it. I would call that an instant classic. Definitely an instant classic between those two. Dave Meltzer on the star system can kiss my ass. I mean, I'm not giving it 5 stars. I'm sure as hell not fucking giving it 5 stars. I'm giving it a gazillion. I'm giving that damn match a freaking gazillion because it was so good. These two did not give an inch. Both wanted it really bad. In the end, Will Ospreay, he won. Yes, they do have a future star in their hands in Maya World, KB, they do. She has wowed me. Like, I called her a rock star for a reason. She is just amazing. But Forbidden Door, so good. And it ended perfectly with Ospreay's going to Wembley Stadium. Now, something did come up, and I will get to it. What did I get this time? I lost sleep. You lost sleep watching the match. I don't think either of us care, KB, because it was that freaking good. It was that very good. And to think there were, I think, really low expectations for this Forbidden Door due to a lot of the international talent having visa issues, so a lot of them couldn't come over here. Like Beast Mortos and God knows how many others weren't able to get to the United States to participate in this event. So I mentioned Will Ospreay won the Owen Hart Cup tournament. He's going to All In Wembley Stadium August 30th. Here's the big problem that has come up that could stop the storyline I've been talking about for a long time. Ospreay versus MJF for the world title at All In. Is this match set for this coming Wednesday, AEW Dynamite Beach Break in Clearwater, Florida? Max is putting the title on the line against Kenny Omega. Now, what I had heard about this is this was originally supposed to be for Redemption, but something clearly happened, and AEW decided to push it to Beach Break. And Tony Khan is shortening the pay-per-views by 1 hour now, going for it. Yeah, this is a smart move by him. Definitely smart move by him, KB. But this is coming up, and I know based on all the Twitter comments I read and what I'm hearing, like people saying on Twitch and everything, they think Omega's going to win this, and it's going to be Ospreay versus Omega at All In. I have been saying, literally since Max won the title at World's End this past December, Will Ospreay is going to be who dethrones him at All In. Now, it may be hard for a lot of people to believe. You could go back through the ETP archives to this show. where I said that back in sometime in December, I think it was January after New Year's, where I said Max is not going to hold that title for a full calendar year. He's going to lose the belt to Will Ospreay. Yeah, we did have the amazing 5-week reign of Darby Allin after he had beat Max on April 15th. And Darby had a way more memorable reign than the reign MJF has had, both when he beat Samoa Joe, Hangman Adam Page at World's End, all the way to Darby to Double or Nothing when Max got it back. Look, I have constantly been saying this. I know Max has a knee injury. Is he selling it? He didn't do a lot in the Death's Door match at Forbidden Door, but I don't like this match being set for this coming Wednesday. I don't like it. Because I know Ospreay and Omega have history. They've competed against each other multiple times. They've teamed up together many times. But I personally feel, and I will get to the stipulation, it needs to be MJF versus Ospreay. It needs to be MJF versus Will Ospreay. Mick Foley's the special guest referee enforcer. I think I'll go with the enforcer because I want Aubrey Edwards to be the referee, KB. That's what I want. So put Foley in the enforcer position. Remember, Foley's not on a Legends contract anymore. That Legends contract expired. So have Foley be the enforcer. You have Aubrey Edwards be the official. And you have Max and Ospreay just go at each other all in. And it's going to be a banger. But people are wanting Max and Omega to go up against each other. They want Omega to win. Yes, I get Kenny deserves another title opportunity, another chance, another title reign, because when he beat Mox at Winter is Coming 2020, he was a heel. Don Callis was his henchman. If you remember, Callis hit Mox and caused Mox to lose, cost Mox the match. That's why we have Don Callis doing the Don Callis family with way too many members, the overloaded numbers, you name it. If I have to pick, I am going to go, and I know Omega fans are going to hate me for saying this, but I'm sticking to my guns. It's going to be Max. Because I think by the time August 30th rolls around, I think he's going to be fine if the knee injury is not severe, which I don't think it is. If it was, he wouldn't be doing this. Now I'm going to get to the added factor to this match that I think is causing people really to talk. There is a stipulation involved here, which is if Max beats Omega cannot compete for this title ever again. And there's also another thing people are chattering about, going nuts over. Does Hangman Adam Page show up? I do not know that. If I had to guess, I don't think Hangman wants to interfere in this. I don't believe he does. And I don't think it would be a good idea at all for Hangman to get involved. Yeah, at this stage, you can't take the title off of Max. That's what I'm saying, KB. You cannot take the title off of Max right now. Do you want Omega to be in the same position as Darby Allin, where once Darby won the title, everyone was like, oh, Max is going to get it back easy. I don't want Kenny Omega to be a transitional champion. I don't. And I know the idea of Omega versus Ospreay All In sounds exciting to people, but think about it this way. Max also has history with Ospreay. All In 2024 for the International Championship. These two put on a really good match. And I think with Will having won the Owen Hart Cup tournament, you've got it right there in the palm of your hand. You have Ospreay versus Max. You have the potential for a multi-star classic match. Like KB said, you can either have Mick Foley be the enforcer or the referee. I prefer the enforcer myself. But if this happens, if you have Omega beat Max, this is what's going to happen. I mean, do you really want that? Do you really want... I get it. Kenny may be coming towards the end of his career. Is it worth it, though? I don't personally think it is. I think... Look, I don't like the idea of Omega never competing for the AEW World Championship ever again. Max decided to pull that. You look at Cody. when he was in AEW, when he went up against Chris Jericho, that stipulation was in place. You take a look recently, Hangman versus Max, that stipulation was in place. I don't like that idea. Oh, and if Will Ospreay does not leave Wembley Stadium with that title, it is going to do serious damage. It's going to make people question Tony Khan, like, what the fuck are you doing? You had it right there. What's going on? What is going on? So, if you're forcing me to make a choice, and this actually is a pretty easy choice for me personally, I got to go with Max, because as much as I like Kenny Omega enormously, I think the story is right there in front of you. Max versus Omega, or Max versus Ospreay at All In. You got to let it happen. You cannot swerve this at all. I know unpredictability is a good thing. I don't think this is the time to do it. And think about it this way. If, say, for example, Ospreay wins it All In, what are the chances? And I want everyone out there watching, including UKB in the chat, think about it this way. If Ospreay wins, wouldn't it be a great idea if the first person he puts the title on the line against, his first title defense, is Kenny Omega? I think Will can get in TK's ear and give Omega a chance to go up against him if you want. Omega versus Ospreay that bad. I think that may be the best way to do it. All right, enough of that. Speaking of August 30th, now this topic came up, and I think it was something KB mentioned last week. Well, guess what, KB? AAA and NXT are teaming up to present Heatwave in Edinburgh, Texas. The date is August 30th. That's you and one Ospreay versus Omega, book it all out in September. That's actually a pretty good idea. I like that. That would be something. Definitely would be something. But let's get back to this now. I'm not going to get mad at Rey Mysterio, the GM of AAA. Shawn Michaels, I'm going to be mad at him. This, again, is freaking counter-programming unless you are planning to have it on early, or at least I should say later, because with all AEW All In being in London, there is the big time difference. In fact, I'm going to go to the world clock on my phone here because I have London listed. This is a 7-hour time difference between where I live and London. It's about 5:27 here in sunny Great Falls, Montana, where I live, and it's 12:28 in the morning in London. So it's about a 7-hour difference. If you're going to do this event, this is what you need to do, Mr. Mysterio, Mr. WWE Hall of Famer, and your fellow WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. Shawn Michaels. Schedule it for later, because All In might be going a little longer. Gee, I wonder. You did, KB. You called it. You called it, and I didn't think it was possible. It kind of shows how much I know. Oh, god damn. God, I fucking hate it. I swear, WWE, I don't know what it is. They like to insult our intelligence. Do they think we're stupid, us wrestling fans who kind of have this shit all figured out? I couldn't tell you. But yeah, that's insane. Look, there's no question. You have AAA and NXT talent coming together. I know there's going to be the whole thing, the NXT related storylines with the NXT titles. Is Tony D'Angelo going to walk into this event still the champion and hopefully no bandages in front of his face? Or no bandages on his face? Who's he going to face? Who's Kendal Grey going to face? Yeah, but AEW is not competition. Right, yeah, absolutely. WWE is like, oh, AEW, what the hell is that? Competition? Never heard of it. AEW is competition. But not impressed by this at all. Total ass counter programming. I'm tired of it. WWE, you really need to get the scheduling thing figured out because this is getting ridiculous. I'm going to say hello to the 100 people watching me live, or 102 now. Jeez, that jumped really fast. 106? Shit. Hi, everybody. Hope everyone's enjoying the show. Now, I mentioned AEW Redemption and what the original plan for Max versus Omega was going to be. It was going to be at this particular event. Well, if it was, the start time for this pay-per-view happening July 26th in Montreal, Canada is going to be 7 p.m. Eastern, so that's 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific, and then I don't need to mention Alaska or Hawaii either. You know where I'm getting at with that one with the time zones. But this I think is a really smart move. I know not everybody is going to be awake for that. I mean, not everyone's going to want to stay and watch the end of it. Some people do have to go to sleep and go to work in the morning. So I think it's a smart move. You can get through it. You started, like, say, in my case, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. If you've got a certain number of cards, you can go maybe till about 9 or 10, and then maybe put the kids to bed afterwards, after you've enjoyed maybe 4.5, maybe 3.5 to 4 hours of wrestling. Probably, yeah, it'll be about 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock Mountain Time, about 11 p.m. Eastern. So you can get the kids to bed after that. So that's really something. I like this, and it makes sense to do this because, not everyone's going to want to stay up late. I mean, believe me, I don't. I mean, I understand the need for sleep. So we got that. Another thing that happened, I'm going to get this banner off real fast. I have been talking about TNA releasing talent for a while. Oh, God, guess what? 1 minute. What? Yep. By the way, I have something to say to you, Carlos Silva, Anthem Entertainment.
You're a turkey.
Mm-hmm. And another thing. There's more here. I have more to say. By the way, what's wrong with TNA?
He's on crack.
Mm-hmm. That too. And then this is what TNA is for doing this.
Clown show, clown show, clown show, clown show.
Oh, God. Yeah, they released Eric Young, who I mentioned. TNA Slammiversary was his last event. Ah, Jesus Christ. Look, I get the cost-cutting moves and everything like that, but when this story came out, shout out to Nico Campanelli for giving me sending me Eric Young's actual tweet where he said, and I quote, "The internet is effing wild. 3 things to know about the news today." Here it is. 1, I asked for my release. They granted it. 2, I was never on a handshake deal. I have had a binding contract the entire time. I don't know who out there said he was on a handshake deal with TNA. You were 100% wrong. Fuck you. And 3, I will work where I want, how I want, and for whom I want. My track record, resume, accolades, and reputation prove that. See you soon. Now, I know people are going to be going, aw, thank you, Bobby. Happy 4th of July to you, too. Now, let's be clear here. Where the hell does Eric Young go? I don't think he goes back to WWE. Someone said, you didn't learn your lesson back in WWE. Someone said, again, this is a reply. Again, who the fuck are you to tell people what they should and shouldn't do in their life? Eric, the person who said this, which is at WWE Real One, which is a parody account, said that, like, Eric Young can do whatever he wants, so he wants to come to the greatest wrestling promotion that has real wrestling, which is WWE, then he can, and we will accept him. What if, this is a big what if, let's face it, I don't know what kind of relationship Eric Young had with Triple H. I think AEW is probably where he's going to go, Bobby, and if he goes for the national championship, then, I could see him and Mark Davis having a match for that. That could definitely be something. JCW, I'd like to see Violent J sign Eric Young. I'm sure he would bring out the best of him. And with Vince Russo there, they could come up with some really cool stuff. So I like that. I really like that. Either one, they both sound good. Major League Wrestling, which right now just crowned the new Southern champion, Trevor Lee. By the way, congratulations to Trevor Lee on his championship win. That could be another destination for Eric Young. I think that's definitely possible. Are you serious, KB? Hold on. I'll do it again. I love you, KB, but no. No. No, no, no. No. I mean, this is what Eric Young will probably say to the Don Callis only once he goes in there.
Why you people?
Mm-hmm. That's what it is. No. Are you never Steve Macklin go to MLW and do a match against Killer Cross if it's possible? That's if Steve Macklin wants to. I still say Steve Macklin's probably going to go to AEW and reunite with his wife, Deonna Purrazzo. As for Eric Young, there's three possibilities I've mentioned. AEW, JCW, and I did mention MLW. Maybe Eric Young could go up against Killer Cross. You never know. That might be something. But TNA...
If we keeping a buck right now, we ass. I mean,
Cam Ward said it best. So there you go. Things like this piss me off sometimes. I feel bad for Eric Young. I really do. So now I got to get to something here. Very important. Now, if you are into fun, and I am into fun, I'm going to say this. The weekend's almost over, but the conversation is just heating up. Kick back in the ETB Lounge with Callum McClurg and Nick DiMartino every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Join us for our 3-hour live format where we unite the full panel of ETB hosts to break down a pivotal day in sports, from the prestige narratives of major championships and MLB afternoon slates to the chaos of the NBA playoff picture. We cover it all. Whether you're here for the happy hour prestige or the spillage where we roast the day's biggest blunders and gambling bad beats. Oh, excuse me, please. The lounge is your home for sports therapy. So only on the Empty the Bench Network. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ETB Network. And I'm going to say hi to the 120 people watching me live. I hope you all are enjoying the show because it's getting good. It is getting good. Now, this happened on Wednesday, and I got to be honest. Roaster Wrestler is tied to this, but I am going to show you. If, for those of you who had not watched it, if I spoil it, do not scream at me. This was the match. These were the ladies in there. Micah, Harley Cameron, Hikaru Shida, Persephone, Chris Statlander, and Queen Amanata. It was pretty vicious. Thank you, Bobby. It means a lot. But those 6 women gave it their all, and I have it right here. Bear with me. I know what it is. Meet the second woman in AEW history to hold both the AEW Women's World Championship and your new TBS champion. Her name is Hikaru Shida. You know, long time coming. She hasn't held a belt in, I think, at least a couple of years. So I'm honestly happy for her. I know some were going, Queen Amanata should get a championship. The wrong wrestler won in this match. You think so, Bobby? Question for you, Bobby. Who did you have winning the match? I know there was Queen Amanata was a lot of people's picks. I had Harley Cameron. I thought it would be kind of cool for her. I know certain individuals, KB knows who I'm talking about, who had Persephone winning this. I don't know who had Micah. Micah's pretty unknown to a lot of us, at least us American fans. Oh, Queen Amanata was your pick too. Okay, nothing wrong with that. But Shida recently came back, and I guess it's Tony Khan had the same idea with her. The TNA had with Rosemary and Allie is they came back for a reason. You got to reward them with gold. That's what he did. So this means if, say, we get Mercedes Moné versus Tekla at All In for the AEW Women's title, and Mercedes wins it, Mercedes is only the 3rd woman to hold both those belts. Only the 3rd. But Hikaru Shida, former 3-time AEW Women's World Champion, now your new TBS champion. Do I agree with the decision? I respect Shida too, Bobby. I do. I think it was the right move to put the belt on her. I'm going to be honest and say no, but I don't work for AEW. I'm not on the creative team. I don't book anything. I would have probably put it on Harley Cameron, but who the heck knows? Clearly, I don't know what was going through Tony Khan's mind when he made the decision to crown Shida the TBS championship. Do I think she has a long reign? We'll see. We'll definitely see on that one. I'm not sure, but I'm willing to give it a try. I'm willing to take a wait and see, kind of watch and see how things develop. This is just an idea for all in. Shida versus Maya World or a returning Willow. Ooh. Well, if we get Maya World versus Athena for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship, then we would probably get Shida versus Willow at All In. It's possible. Then again, Maya is so white hot right now, KB, that if you put her against Shida for the TBS title at All In, then maybe it might work. But we'll see how everything goes. I think there's so many things factoring into this. So we'll see what happens. Now we're going to get to the part of the show. This was pretty easy. Kaylee Ray Undefeated is leaving. Yeah, she has been. And, would I like to see her in AEW? And maybe, I'd like to. I know she was a hell of a champion in NXT UK. She could do well in AEW, but, Kaylee Ray can go anywhere she wants, really. It's a possibility. We'll see. But I'm going to go to the one part of the show that I know it's going to be good. Kendal Grey, your new NXT Women's Champion, is my Wrestler of the Week. Hold on a minute. You'd like to see Kaylee Ray go up against Shuri for the IWGP Women's Championship? That's something. That's definitely something, but there, Bobby. But I'm going to get back to Wrestler of the Week is Kendal Grey. We know her story. She's been on the indies. She's young, incredibly talented. Many have compared her to Kurt Angle. She was the WWE Evolve Women's Champion, second woman to win that belt, and she had good title defenses. Made it a prestigious championship for Evolve. So there's that, and she's been doing her thing at NXT. She's friendship with Ren Sinclair, the current women's speed champion. She is the female Kurt Angle legit. Even down to the part where she takes the straps off, but then again, I thought Willow Nightingale was more Kurt Angle-like because she does the same thing. But Kendal takes the straps off and she just goes at it. But Kendal is a rock star. And I use that term a lot, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. But you like watching Kendal? Your number one wrestler, and okay, hey, nothing wrong with that. She is good. She beat Lola Vice for the NXT Women's title at the Great American Bash, and looks like she's going to be facing an old nemesis from Evolve, Callie Armstrong, because Callie Armstrong attacked Kendal when Kendal was at the commentary desk. So I definitely think that Callie is going to be that person that Kendal is going to feud with over the NXT Women's Championship. But Kendal, I know she's been ready. Great American Bash was the right time to pull the trigger and let her win that championship. I mean, they had to give Lola Vice a chance. Lola was a great champion, no question. Kendal Grey is the face of the women's division for the next 5 years. Dare I say she can replace it? I think you can. She can definitely replace Charlotte, but I think Kendal Grey is, whereas many people bitch about Charlotte, they call her a Nepo baby and all the crap because of who her dad is and everything. And a lot of times people feel like there's certain title opportunities Charlotte should not have, and she shouldn't constantly be put in the title scene. I think if Kendal Grey, definitely, if you book her right, if you have the right right storylines for her, she can take it and run with it. And I think Kendall's way more likable, way more relatable than Charlotte. Yeah, one day Kendal Grey will be. Yes. I mean, heck, with the Royal Rumble probably coming up, maybe, I don't know when. Hopefully it's in the United States. We might see Kendal Grey make her Royal Rumble debut in 2027. So I think that would be great. Kendal Grey, she's got great skills in the ring. You know, promo skills are good. She will admit she's not always going to sound like a champion cutting a promo because she's nervous, but I loved it when she said she was going to give it her all. And I appreciate that. So, Kendal Grey, Wrestler of the Week. Now, KB, I know you're in the chat. Will you tell a friend of ours who has the hots for this woman that I'm sorry that I'm roasting her? Yeah. I'm roasting Persephone. Uh-huh. Who would I like to see Kendal Grey go up against? Bobby. There's so many. I know. Well, I'll put his comment back up real quick. I mean, besides Callie Armstrong, I know in NXT, and we've seen her go up against JC Jane and Lola Vice, so we know Callie Armstrong's who she's going to go up against in NXT. They face each other and Evolve. I like Kendal to go up against, goddamn, Tatum Paxley, Zarya, Kelani Jordan. I would have said Stephanie Vaquer, but she's on the main roster. That really would have been awesome. There's a lot, Bobby. I can't name everyone, but if you want me to start naming main roster, I'd like to see Kendal against Lyra Valkyria, Bayley, Becky Lynch, Maxine Dupree, Blake Monroe, Julia, probably Stephanie Vaquer, Io Sky. You know, I think Kendal can hold her own against anybody if given the opportunity. Now, KB, please tell our friend who loves Persephone, I am sorry, I'm going to roast her. Persephone, you are the CMLL Women's World Champion. You were in the Survival of the Fittest match for the TBS title. Yeah, that's another one I'd like to see Kendal go up against Fallon Henley. Maybe she can go up against Lainey Wilson, Lainey Reed, who I don't. Lainey Wilson's a country singer. God damn it! Ow! I had to do that anyway. Lainey Reed is another one I'd like to see Kendal go up against. I know Kendall's gone up against JC Jane before, but I'd like to see them go at it on the main roster. That'd be something. Okay, Bobby, I've got to get back to roasting Persephone. I already told KB to warn a certain someone that he and I know who adores Persephone. Tell him I'm sorry, but now I'm going to do this. Persephone, you, Miss CMLL Women's World Champion. You were in the Survival of the Fittest match. This is why you are in this segment. For one thing, you seem more preoccupied trying to get rid of anyone who got in your way than focusing on trying to see who you could get rid of in trying to win this championship. Now, after you were eliminated, what did you do? Did you walk away like a good little girl? No. You grabbed the fucking belt and you whacked Chris Statlander in the side of her head with it, thus making it easy for Hikaru Shida to win. Now, if you wanted that belt bad enough, maybe, Persephone, you should have eliminated Stat yourself. That would have made things a whole lot fucking easier there, woman. Yes, Persephone is a menace. I don't doubt that. I mean, Jesus Christ. You've had multiple opportunities. I understand in certain situations, injuries prevented these things from happening for you. Like, you could have been the Ring of Honor Women's World title. I mean, shit. The internet could have blown up if you had beaten Athena in Ring of Honor's Survival of the Fittest match for Ring of Honor Super Card of Honor, but you were hurt. Then you get put in the Owen Hart Cup tournament. You lost. Let's be clear here, Persephone. Excuse me. You're talented. You're beautiful. You're good in the ring, and your promo skills, you mixing English and Spanish is fucking cool. Yeah, I think Statlander will get a revenge on Persephone, Bobby. I don't question that. But, bitch, if you, like I said, if you had wanted to win the TBS title and the Survival of the Fittest match on Wednesday, this is what you should have done. If you want to get rid of Statlander that bad, you should have eliminated her, and then you could have gone up against Hikaru Shida. Shit, if you had beaten Hikaru Shida, then you would be the TBS champion. But no, you had to take the damn TBS belt and smash it against Statlander's head. Knocking her out. That woman couldn't even fight back. Persephone, there's no question you are a star. There's no question you got what it takes. In terms of talent, In-ring ability, promo skills, looks. You got it all. That was a shitty way to go. You want to be a heel? Go ahead, be a heel. That doesn't bother me at all. But all I gotta say is, you pull this shit again, you're gonna end up in this segment again, and I will have no mercy on you whatsoever. Do you know who challenged Persephone and CMLL there, KB? Can you want to tell me? And so if it's Chris Statlander, I'm laughing my ass off. Oh my God, no! Ugh. Hold on, KB. Oh, no. Ah! And furthermore, I do not wish Tessa Blanchard on anyone, not even Persephone there, KB. I don't. I'm sorry. But if Tessa beats Persephone for that CMLL women's title, then that bitch is going in this segment, and I will obliterate her. I don't fucking care. But Persephone, I like you. Don't get me wrong. You just fucked up. You could have been TBS champion, lady, but no. You had to hit... Yeah, exactly, Bobby. Persephone, if you pull shit like that again, hitting people with the championship, bitch, to quote you, I don't give a flying fuck. You're coming back into the segment, and I will have absolutely zero mercy on you. I don't care if I know somebody who thinks you are Mamacita, you know, the reason for his existence, if you know what I mean. Persephone, shame. Do better. And I hope to God you don't lose to Tessa Blanchard, because I do not wish that heinous woman on anybody, not even you. Boy. You know what to do. I'm sorry. Oh, God. Follow the network. Follow the show. Follow me. Hello to 123 people watching me live. I hope you are all having a wonderful 4th of July. Don't lose your fingers or you're going to end up like Jason Pierre-Paul. I don't wish that on anybody. But, sorry. Follow the show at BTRETB on social media. And, of course, YouTube.com/ETB Network. Like I said before, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. What's this John Moxley do for All In? Bobby, I think either he's going to defend his Continental title or I don't know. I'm trying not to look that far ahead because we got AEW Redemption coming up next before All In, so I don't know what the plans for Mox are. I really don't. We're probably going to most likely find out. But like I said, youtube.com/ETP Network. Like I said, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. If you are wondering why there's no AEW Collision preview, it's the 4th of July. And Collision aired on Thursday, so there was no need for me to do a preview. But, you know, it will be back at its regular time next week, and the preview will be a part of the show next week too. So get out of that. So I want to thank everyone for coming. I want to thank the 123 people who watched me live. And, of course, a big thank you to, of course, Bobby, to KB, and I know I had someone else in here, and that's why I'm scrolling right now. It was Bobby, KB, Doc, thank you all for the comments. And what did I get this time? Oops. Thank you. But I just want to thank you everyone. Let me try to get this comment out of here. You had to get the last one in there, Bobby. Good job. All right. God, I love doing this show. I do. So I hope everyone has a great 4th of July. Enjoy the fireworks, enjoy the barbecue, like your burgers, your burgers, your hot dogs, steak, chicken, whatever you are having. Happy 250th birthday, United States of America. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you folks next week with a brand new episode of Between the Ropes. See ya!